Good morning and a happy Tuesday. Today I'm going to start by working and then working out and taking a shower. That's my 3 things I would like to do before like 10 maybe 11, let's say 11. So let's go work. So while I'm starting the computer, there's a couple of things I need to do work-wise today that I want to get just done so I can start writing and things like that. I also want to write my thesis today a bit more. So that's also something I would like to do. I think it would be great if I could actually write a decent amount in my thesis as well today. Okay, I am having a migraine attack. I can't actually see the camera right now. I felt anxious yesterday, and so it tracks that I'm getting a migraine today. Let's see how this day will be. Maybe it'll be over quickly. I have very strange migraines where I get the aura and like a little bit of headache, but I don't really get that much headache. But I get really bad aura, so that's like the painful part. Yeah, I'm gonna lie down. The lighting is horrible. I'm back in business. Let's go back to work. It's already like 10. So that was my morning. But I should be fine for the rest of the morning, rest of the day basically. I just got a message from a friend of mine about a knitting group tomorrow evening, so I'm excited for that. Let's get this work done. Take 2 basically. I ended up not working anything really. I sent, I think, like 3 emails. I told my boss that I was having a migraine attack and she was like, yeah, go relax. It's mainly gone right now. I just have the fatigue, which I'll have for a couple of days basically. Last night I wrote down everything that I could think of that I wanted to do in draft 2 so that I can say draft 2 is finished. I've already finished 2 things on here. I was just going back and forth like, when is draft 2 finished for me and when can I go into draft 3, which is going to be the final draft basically, and when it's not finished. So I have several chapters that I want to finish. I want to finish chapter 20, which I did last night, chapter 21, which I'm going to work on now, and chapter 36 and 37. So that's chapter 36 and 37 is the ending. And it's kind of an open-ended novella because it's a novella. So it's only this, like, it's a very short period. Like, it's very narrow what the focus basically is. So I do want to have the ending more vague. It's not a cliffhanger or like a sad ending, but it's not like a happily ever after marriage ending, which I don't believe in marriage. So I'm not sure if I could actually write happily ever after marriage ending, but that's just, I think that's a cultural difference as well. I think that's actually a huge cultural difference where happily ever after, for example, in Iceland, does not include marriage most of the time. Me and my partner decided not to get married. I do not want to get married, ever. The concept of marriage frightens me tremendously. So unless we need to get married for some paperwork, I'm not going to get married. So I think my draft 2 should be finished at 20,000. My like sweet spot is probably going to be 28,000 as a final published copy. I have a couple of like more editing aspects of it, which I want to do now in draft 2 rather than in the editing aspect, because if I do like this edit, I would have to change, I think, more. So I would like to keep it in the draft. So I have several words that I would like to find and change. I finished one of them that was find all suddenly, because I realized I didn't use suddenly, so that's finished. But I have several that I need to, like, I looked up a couple of them and I had like 74 instances or 84 instances of things like that. So I want to tighten that up. And then I have 4 chapters that I would just like to fix. I can't remember what I was thinking with fixing, but there was something in them that I wanted to fix. I need to choose the name of a friend, so a friend of the main character. He needs a name, and then I need to choose the name of a teammate of that main character. I have 5 chapters I would like to grow, and then I also have 5 chapters that I would like to tighten up a bit. That is how it's looking. Right now I'm going to focus on finish chapter 21, and with that I will hit 15,000 words. Okay, I finished chapter 21 and hit exactly 15,000 words. That's funny. I didn't change the core of chapter 21. I had the incident that was happening, but I changed like the timing of it and wrote more. I might change chapter 22 a little bit, and then I might actually change chapter 23 a little bit. Chapter 23 isn't anywhere. There's not a lot that I wanted to change there, but I wanted to add a little bit of a specific feeling of realization in there. So I will just add it to my list. I don't have like a headache per se after my migraine attack, but my head is just woozy. Something. I'm thinking like, should I go to chapter 22 or should I finish chapter 36 and then chapter 37? I want to finish chapter 36 actually, mainly because then I'm like writing instead of more editing writing. I'm just writing. Chapter 21 was also more like writing compared to like going over what I've written and changing and things like that. I'm just writing. Let's do chapter 36. That is kind of the catalyst of the ending. That will be interesting. And then chapter 37 is basically the ending. I'm just nauseous and things like that. But you know, like migraines, they are not a daily occurrence in my life, but they're very frequent occurrence in my life. And I feel like every time I have a migraine, I forget words and like things. My brain does not function on migraines, and I can see my face like looks different when I have migraine. It's like something is weird happening in my brain. But yes, let's do chapter 36. I'll check in with you after chapter 36. Chapter 36, check. I also messaged the friend group and we are going to all go to the library and meet up with the children, so that's going to be fun. So I need to pick up the books that we need to return and like pick up a little bit earlier. I think it's going to be fun. Yeah, but chapter 36 is done. And I added like 260 words, so it's not like a lot, but again, it's a novella, it doesn't need that much per chapter. So I'm going to work on chapter 37 right now. I'm working on a little bit, like chapter 36 ends with he's doing this thing, and chapter 37 will then tell you the results from that. I'm not like having chapter 36 going through all of it and chapter 37 like reacting to it, you know what I mean? So instead chapter 36 ends on what's going to happen, like ends up on a phone call, and then chapter 37 will be talking about that phone call, how that has impact on the people involved. So I'm working a little bit of that on not like repeating things, because it's double POV. I don't want to like something happens in chapter 1 and then in chapter 2 something happen, you know what I mean? It's like so that the same thing is not happening over and over again. It happens like off screen, off page basically, and then they will talk about it. Should I do chapter, you know, I have time. Let's do chapter 37, and then I've actually finished all the chapters, you know, then it's not just the grow, shrink, and fix left. Let's go and finish chapter 37, the finale. I'm not going to do epilogue. Epilogues, I have a love-hate relationship with them. I just finished the book where there was 2 epilogues, and they were both just, I was like, who are these people? To be fair, the entire book, because it was the 3rd book in a trilogy, I was like, who are these people? I've read the other 2 books. Oh, I'm getting a pain. But it's been a while since I read them, and they were not very, like, they were quite forgettable, and the structure of this book was based on something that happened in book 1 and book 2, basically, because this book happened parallel to those books. I could not remember what happened. 3 of the characters had names that started with L, so it was like Lark, Laughlin, Lologon, I don't know, but like I could not remember who was who, and like for me that is, I don't know, it might just be like because I have a general problem with names. If more than 2 people in the same novel have names that start with the same letter, or like similar names, I will not remember who is who. They could, like, it doesn't matter, gender, anything. If they have the same name, I do not remember. I just do not remember. So there was 3 people with the name that started with L, and one was girl, the other one I think was her boyfriend, and then one was maybe the bad guy. I'm still not sure. I could not differentiate between those 3 people throughout the novel. I was like, which one is that? Is that the brother? Is that the lover? Is that the bad guy? It was just chaos. So I finished reading that book, and I did not like that book. So you won't actually, I'm not going to review it. I'm not going to say the name of it. I just didn't like it. I did post about it on my Instagram, so if you follow me on there, you could have seen some thoughts about it. I'm doing this diary Instagram thing with, like, my Instagram is basically the only followers that I have are people that I talk to very regularly. So it's not like people I know quite well, or talk to, things like that. So I'm doing like a diary there because I don't know, it's fun. I'm a couple of days behind, but I've been taking the pictures to need to write. I just felt very sick of myself. Let's do chapter 37. Pick up, I need to find the books I need to return, pick up, library, meet some friends, home for dinner. Hello, it's the morning after. I really liked filming 2 days in a row last week, so I'm doing the same thing this week. So yesterday after kindergarten, I went to the library to meet some friends, and my daughter met her friends that she had met, well, one of them 10 minutes before in kindergarten. They again acted like they hadn't seen each other for weeks. They met, like, I don't think it was 10 minutes, maybe like 15 max. Anyways, so I finished reading this book yesterday. It's the first one in the Vera Wong series. So the thing is, I picked up this one first, and then I started reading, and I was like 10 pages in when I was like, wait, this is number 2 in a series. I can't read that. So I went to the library and got this one, and this is the first one in the series. Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessa Sutano. It is really good. I think I rated like 4.5 stars. It is so good. I will do a review of probably the both of them when I finish this one. And I will probably finish it this week. It was just that good. So I'm continuing with my draft to-do list. I'm still working on chapter 37. So I think I'll finish that today. I have not chosen the name of the friend and the name of the teammate. My friends were not helpful. We started talking about toilets, and they were like, "Oh my god, you need to add this in the novella, because there's this there's this German type of toilet that is, if you know, you know. I think they're the horrible. It's like, it's with the platform. There's a platform and then it goes down. I can't deal with this toilet, and my friends were like, you should add like a line where he's complaining about the toilets because they don't have the platform because he's staying in the UK for part of the novella. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to add a phrase about toilet preference. But yeah. Anyways, so I still need to find the names. I think that's going to be my main goal today, is to find the 2 names. And also I realized I need to find the last names of my main characters. That's also, I haven't added it to the list, but I should. However, in my month at glance goals, I realized last night, I actually have finished writing 4,000 words this month, which is great. It is week 4. My goal this January was to actually write 15,000 words. I don't know where that came from. It's not happening. Yeah. So let's get to writing. It's only like 11 something. I think I just finished work. Yeah, it's 11. I finished work a little bit earlier. I was just like, I'm gonna finish now. So I'm going to do some substantial writing, and I want to, as I said, I want to finish chapter 37. Maybe I'll choose one of those editing aspects and work on that. Maybe all the find all realized. Maybe I'll work on that one, because I'm not sure how many realized I have. Oh, there was Lego on the floor. I'm gonna tidy up the Lego on the floor first. So I have 7 realized or realizes. So I'm going to try to minimize that to maybe 3 or 4. Like, I would like to at least have it 50% less. 7 is not too bad. And some of them are in a sentence, so those, well, in a dialogue. So the ones that are in a dialogue I will keep. I think 1 is in a dialogue. But I'm going to see if I can rework those sentences to have something else. This did not take a long time, and now I just have 1 realized which is in a sentence and makes sense. Am I postponing writing chapter 37? Maybe. And so chapter 37 is the ending, and I haven't really found the tone that I would like this to end in. If I fix some more chapters, maybe that will help. Let me see. Let's find a chapter I need to grow. Chapter 13. Let's make chapter 13 grow. I think chapter 13 will be worked on again in draft 3. But I have now 15,502 words. And I'm wondering if I should go into one of the editing points or one of the chapter points. I still have like migraine in my head. When I was meeting my friends yesterday, I was telling them I was trying to write the word beautiful, and I couldn't. So I don't have as much of the pain. I have like a little bit of pain, and I still have like pain, but it's not like, the pain is never that bad that I can't actually do the things that I need to do. However, my brain just needs to rewire itself, and yesterday I was trying to just have a normal conversation, and I was always like, I couldn't finish one thought from beginning to the end, like a sentence or anything. But they have known me for a very long time. But I feel like I'm getting another migraine. I don't think I am, but it wouldn't be surprising, because usually when they start, I get them like several days in a row. But I feel like, if I close my eyes, no, I'm fine. This is how I check if I have migraines. If I can like see, because I go so blind. Anyways, I really want a cold cap. I think that would be nice. Chapter 13 is basically done for draft 2. So what should I pick on my list? Next step is basically 16,000 words, but where should I find those words? Chapter 18 should just go down the road. Chapter 13, chapter 18. I have fixed chapter 14. Maybe I'll actually go and look at chapter 14. Oh, chapter 14 is not even a page. That needs fixing. Chapter 14 is 130 words. That's not a chapter. I know I like my chapters short, but 130 words as chapter 14, like in the middle of everything, that's not a coherent chapter. So let's actually fix chapter 14. That's a good plan. I do feel chapter 14 is now draft 2 ready, basically, so mark that off. It's now 290 words, so I will probably, in draft 3, where I go more into things, I will probably expand that a bit. I also did a lot of laundry in between. This has been a very slow writing. It's almost 12, well, it's 12:40. But now I have feel, and I have feel 59 times. And let me tell you, 59 times of feel is like 55 times too many. Do I want to do feel now? I might just do feel now. Some of them I can just delete, like it's just a word that should be in there, like, but I feel the last one was also very important, but the last one was also very important. Like, I don't need feel there. Do I want to do this right now? Or do I want to, am I doing anything not to write the ending? Maybe I might be doing that. Maybe I might be. My brain. Okay, I'm going to tackle a couple of the feels, just a couple. Just few, a very few, like 4. Let's do 4 feels today. Okay, I'm gonna say chapter 37, the ending, is fine for draft 2. I might add something more to it later. It is shorter than I think, like I could make it a little bit more meatier, and I definitely will do that. But yeah, I think the main aspect of it is there, so that's great. I worked on so many of the feel, and now I have 42. But I did take out quite a lot of them. I have now 15,779 words, so my next goal in all of this is 16,000 words. I'll work on that, it's here. But I want to work on it a little bit structural manner. That's why I did the list, because I was like, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? But now I do know what I need to do. Maybe I'll work on the chapters that I need to fix, because I have here chapter 19, 23, and 29. So I have gone past the 16,000 words goal, and I was like, ooh, I'm going to do that, and then I want to write in my thesis, but I really don't want to write in my thesis right now. Oh, I should though do it. I should just open it and write a little bit. Just like, you know what I'm going to do? First of all, I probably should write another list like this, just thesis, first draft. Maybe I will, well, I need, my thesis advisor hasn't answered my email. I'm not rushing her. I will rush her next Monday. So I don't really know if I'm writing a full thesis or if I'm writing a partial thesis and then articles. I would like to do that, but I haven't gotten a response on that. But I still would need to write a introduction and background. So I might just do one of these with introduction, what I want to have there, and background, what I want to have in there. This is a random book that I bought that I really like. I don't even know if it's a brand or anything. Oxford. Oh, the beginning is always today, Mary Shelley. That's nice, I hadn't noticed that. I had it in here, what I thought would be like my schedule for when I want to publish and everything. And I want to, because I'm thinking about self-publishing this novella, just for funsies. Like, I'm just doing this because I enjoy myself. And I'm thinking about publishing that on the 15th of March. that's my deadline. I think 15th of March would be fun. But before I publish it, I actually want to start on the second novella in the series. And I'm thinking I'll just start writing it by hand here. Because I'm going on holidays and I'm not going to take my laptop with me or anything. And I think that would be a perfect time to let this one like settle for some time and then just write the next one in here. Thinking I wanted to be 160 pages. I read a novella, it's underneath here. This one, it's 3 days in June, and that one is 165 pages, and it's just 3 days. It is Anne Tyler, 3 days in June. It's an interesting book. I do recommend it. It's, as I can say, a novella. Okay, I've changed location. I'm at the dining room table right now because I am going to put on my big girl pants. I'm going to put on a timer for 15 minutes. And I am going to open up to a new page and write down background, introduction, background, and just bullet point everything I want to have included there and things like that. I know I'm procrastinating because I'm so stressed about this. Like, I've done this before, but it almost broke me the last time I did this, and this time around I don't want it to break me. I have my Uniball eye pens that I used to use so much when I was writing notes, basically. They don't work in my Hobonichi, so I haven't really been using them. And I am going to do it and do it proud. No, I'm just gonna do it. Let's go. I did the notes and then I got an answer from my thesis advisor, and we gotta kick it on. So she agrees that I would do extra questionnaire so I can get some extra answers about things, and let's go. So tomorrow I will write the thesis proposal completely and research questions, or like the scope, research object, and like send that to her before the weekend. And let's go. Whew. I knew she wasn't ignoring me. Like I sent it and I wasn't like, oh my god, she's ignoring me. I was more like, oh, what if it's not good enough? But we had already talked about like some aspects of it before, so I knew that she would like it. I just knew that I needed a little bit more, basically. So I'm excited. But this felt great, just to write it down and everything. It's like such a chaotic, because introduction, background, you're mentioning the similar aspects of things, but in the background you're really going deeper. So I'm like doing like mention it here, but statistic here, you know, things like that. I haven't really decided how I'm going to add this academia writing, the thesis writing and everything into the writing vlogs. I don't know how I'm going to add it into my life right now. So I will have to think about that. So Thursdays is the day that I have classes, one class. So I tend to just watch the classes then and read some of the study material and things like that. So I don't really want to do much of writing, like creative writing on Thursdays. My creative writing is going to be Tuesday, Wednesdays, I think. I don't know what I'm going to do with my Mondays. And then on Fridays, I usually have like a long work meeting and things like that. So it's hard for me to do much on Fridays. And it's a shorter day in the kindergarten, so I pick up earlier. So I need to just also sit down, think of my schedule in my life and figure out how I want to do the things, like plan-wise, how I can plan everything and then accomplish the things that I would like to do. But now I'm back to being excited. My thesis advisor is amazing. I really like her. So my previous thesis advisor and my previous master thesis was also amazing, and I really liked her as well.